Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aiman Hamzi bin Kamaruddin, ID 24356, and in this video I will explain to you briefly about the second control structure, which is selection. So basically, selection is a control structure that chooses among alternative program statement. So for example, if we have two statements, the program will execute either one of the statements based on the condition. And condition is basically an expression that is either true or false. So if the condition is true, the first statement is executed, and if the condition is false, it will go through to the next statement. So there are operators that will help us to do our condition. There are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and also not equal to. There are three types of selection control structures. The first one is if else statement. The second one is switch statement, and the third one is nested if else statement. So I will briefly explain to you about the if else statement. To use an if else statement, the syntax is basically if condition, then statement, else, if condition, then statement, and so on and so forth. So if the condition is true, the statement will be executed, like I said earlier, and if the condition is false, the statement will not be executed and followed by the next condition or statement. So this is the sample program that I have done. The program is basically to give grade for students. So it will ask the user to enter the marks of student, and the program will give us what is the grade for the student. So if I run this, so let's say the input is 67, then it will say the grade for student is D. It is D because 67 is between 60 and 70, which is the fourth statement. So it reads the first statement. 67 is not bigger than 90 and not less than 100. So it skip the first statement and followed by it goes to the second statement. Second statement says that the grade is bigger than 80 and less than 90, which is also not in the range for 67. So it skips the second statement and it goes on for the third condition, which is bigger than 70 and less than 80, which is also false. So it's not. So it doesn't show the third statement. So it goes to the fourth statement, which is bigger than 60 and less than 70, which is in the range of 67. So it executed the statement, which is grade for student is D. So that is all, and that is all basically what you need to know for an if else statement. That is all. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum and hi guys. Today I'm going to explain or present one of subtopic from repetition chapter, which is for loop in the program C++. For loop is extremely important to your loop program. This loop is very similar to while loop but has slightly different syntax to it. For loop is generally used to loop around until a condition has changed. So I already prepared a program that will utilize for loop program. So let's start. Okay, this is a program that I just prepared before. Okay, this is my main body of the program, and this is my for loop body. In the bracket is my condition of the loop. that contain initialization of variable, condition, and increment. This is display of the loop program. Okay, let's compile it. Okay, starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and at the 10 the loop condition are false, so the loop is break. Okay, I will change to negative. Let's see what happened to my loop output. It is infinite loop, so just be careful for the condition of the loop. Okay, I'm just going to output it with this is the loop number, and then I'm going to stream in the counter for our for loop. So let's see in action. So this is the output of my loops. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad bin Muhammad Jufri. My matric ID is 24467. So now let's have a look on another topic in structured programming and database system, which is function. Function is a group of statements that used to perform a task. Usually we use function in any program that we type. For example, we always use in main in our function, in our program. That is a function. Somehow, we can use more than one function in a program. We can use more than one function in a program to make our program look more simple and more organized. So there is two type of function. One is value returning function, and second one is void function. Value returning function is a function that return a value to the operator, and void function is a function that doesn't return a value. So let's take a look at my example for value returning function. This function, this program is to calculate the force of an object. So my function, I give a name of force and I use a variable m and a. The type of function is double because the value returning later is real number, and I use the formula for f for force is equal to m times a, and the returning value is f. F is the result of m multiplied by a. And to call the function in the in main, I use the variable s equal to 5.0 and y equal to 9.1, and I define z is function f, and the variable is s and y. So to call it, first I can use the variable z because I already defined as force x and y. I also can use I also can call by write the name of the function and the variable. Also I can call by straight away using 5.0 and 9.1. So let's look what is the result. So all the way that I stated before give the same result, which is this we can use any of the way. So for the void function, first my program is to for the user to choose the shape that they preferred. Three type of shape I prefer. Three type of shape here. First is triangle, second is rectangle, second is circle, and third is rectangle. So this is my prototype function. So this is the main body. First I ask the user for the number. 1 is for the triangle, 2 is for circle, and 3 for rectangle. And then I use the repetition for me to make the explanation later more easy. If I click one, and later it will stop the program. So for the function is type void, and the name is triangle. Noted that I don't use any variable because I don't have to, and the return value is none. No return value here. So all the three function is just the same, and let's execute. So I want triangle, I write 1, yes. So I want to continue, I just put D. And I want circle 2, yes, I got the circle, and just any random number S. So I put 3 for rectangle, yeah, and click 1 for stop the program. Alright, so that's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faiz Daniel, student ID 24491. I'm from Mechanical Engineering, and today I would like to show you on how to call by reference in function. As we may already know, there are two ways to call a function, which is by value and by reference. By using reference, it's like passing the address of a variable used as an argument in a function call. By using reference, the function can access directly to the data, but changes of the copy will affect the original value or string or etc. If we want to write a function that can changes the variable, we must use a reference variable. The symbol ampersand, which we always use as an n, indicates a reference variable. So let's see the example here. The variable x and data is connected, which is if we change the value of x, it will automatically change the value of data. So for the program here, the data is indicated as an integer of 10. So if after we indicate, we call the function as add. The data here represent as an x in the function. Before that, we ask for an input, for example like 10. So 10 here, input will be added as x, which is 10. So our x now is 20. As soon as the function here ends, it will return to the main function as data. So our data now is 20. So we will display the data here to prove that the function here can be used correctly. So let's execute. So like just now, we make the input as 10. So the output or data here becomes 20. So our program here correctly used the call by reference. That's it for today. and thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Ansar and my metric ID is 24262 and I'm going to present about arrays. Now before I go into my sample program, I would like to explain what an array is. An array is basically a collection of data or values where each of the values or input has an index or a location associated with it. Arrays are useful for cases where you have a lot of different values which are related to each other. So I've created a program that will get the price input of 10 items from the user, add a fee of 10 Rm10 to each of the items and calculate the sum. Now the name of the array that I'm using is price, and the size of the array is 10, and I've declared the size as a constant. You can also declare the size in this form where the price, the name of the array, is followed by a square bracket, and inside the square bracket you put then actual numbers. The array can also be declared in this way where there is no number in the square bracket, but the value of each element in the array is listed beside the array variable. The array can also be declared in this form where they are both the number of elements in the array as well as the value for each element is listed. But bear in mind, if this form is used, the remaining values will be set to 0. Now my first for loop is used to set the value of each element in the array to be 0. This is done by it starts at a value of a equals to 0. Therefore, the array index 0 is the first element in the array, and it will do up to array with an index of 9. So each of the values for each element in the array will be 0. Now my second for loop is used to prompt and get the price of each item from the user. This is used in a similar way with previous loop. Now the reason I've added one here is because the value of I starts at 0, and the index of the array will always start at 0 for a C++ program. So this is just to display it as number 1 because the first item is number 1. Now this loop will get the value of each item and store it in the array index starting with 0 and ending at 9. Now my third for loop will calculate and display the new price. So this line of code will add 10 to the original price, and this code will display the new price of the item. Now my fourth for do loop will add up the total of all the elements in the array. The total will be equal to the total price j price. So this will be done for 0 until 9. So now my last line of code will display the sum of all the prices. So let's do a trial run. So let's say my first number is 10, followed by 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, and 28. So now the first item, the values have been added by 10, second has also been added by 10, third, and so on until the 10th item has been added by 10. Now all these values will be summed up to be 290.